Okay, so by far the most frequently asked question we get asked in our comments, our DMs and emails is about visas and what sort of visas you can use to enter Thailand, especially if you want to stay for an extended period of time. And with the Thailand government recently making some massive announcement that they're going to be shaking up the Thailand visas, I thought this would be a great time to release a full breakdown video of all the visa options that are available, whether you want to come to Thailand for a holiday or if you're looking to stay for an extended period of time, then this video is for you. And make sure you stay till the end because I'm going to be going through all the details on the new visa, which has been described as the digital nomad visa. This is a visa that the Thailand government recently announced to try and compete with other countries in attracting digital nomads. So apparently Thailand has been suffering financially pretty badly since the pandemic, and that's kind of obvious actually when you're here. They have a lack of tourism, especially from places like China where they used to get a lot of tourism. The reason that they've changed some of these visa requirements, they've actually made it a lot easier for many people from different nationalities to travel to Thailand in order to try and boost the economy. And they're not doing this in like 6 months time or 12 months time. This is being implemented right away because they really want to try and boost the economy now. Before I get into it, I'm going to preface this by saying I'm not a visa expert, okay? So I'm not giving visa advice. I'm simply going to be going over all of the visa options that are available, and then it's up to you to decide which one you think is right for you. I would also highly recommend using a visa agent, especially if you're going to be applying for a certain type of visa that you're going to be staying in Thailand for a longer period of time. I will leave a link down below to both the Thai embassy, which has all of the visas listed, as well as some really reputable visa agencies here in Thailand that we've dealt with personally, and we've also had friends who have dealt with and they have really good reviews. Okay, so I'm going to start with a brief overview of which visas are actually available for foreigners. And you can access this information directly on the Thailand Embassy website. So the first one is a tourist visa. Now, this is a 60-day tourist visa to Thailand that can be either multiple entry or single entry and can be extended for another 30 days at an immigration office. If you want to extend it for longer than 30 days, you can convert this visa to a non-immigrant visa. I'll get to non-immigrant visas in just a minute. But yeah, basically this is a tourist visa that you do need to apply for before coming to Thailand. And it does give you the ability to stay in Thailand for up to 90 days, which is really cool. The second one, and this is probably the most common that most people who travel to Thailand use, is the visa on arrival. And this previously was only available to about, I think, 31 countries. Starting June 1st, allegedly, now I haven't checked if this has actually been implemented, but this has been what's reported on the website. The number of countries eligible for visa-free entry to Thailand has increased to 93, which is like half the countries in the world pretty much. Under the new scheme, visitors can stay in Thailand for up to 60 days compared to the earlier limit of 30 days. So originally, when you got a visa on arrival, they would stamp you as 30 days. Now they're going to stamp you for 60 days, which is awesome. So the requirements in order to get a visa on arrival is you need to hold a citizenship from an approved country. So again, you need to take a look at if your country is one of the approved countries. You need to hold a passport with at least 30 days validity remaining. You need to pledge to visit Thailand strictly for tourism purposes only, so this isn't a work visa of any kind or a business visa. Provide proof of accommodation in Thailand, such as a hotel or apartment address. So you don't need to provide your proof of accommodation for the entire 30 or 60 days. Generally, I'd say like a few days or a week is enough. You also need to provide proof of funds to support your stay. So a minimum of 10,000 Thai baht for single travelers or 20,000 baht per family, which really isn't too bad at all. You also, this is the really important part, you need to provide a proof of a return ticket exiting Thailand, and it cannot be a neighboring country. So you can't have a ticket to like Cambodia or Malaysia, I believe. You need to have a ticket going to a different country. But as I said, I'll leave a link to the Thai embassy down below so you can check out all these requirements for yourself. So the next one is the Thai Elite Visa. Now, a few years ago this was introduced and it was aimed as a digital nomad visa, and it seems like from what I've heard, it's just gotten more and more expensive and kind of out of reach for digital nomads nomads over the years. The Thailand Elite Visa is a long-term visa categorized under the Privilege Entry Visa program. It allows residency in Thailand along with additional benefits for a period between 5 and 20 years, depending on the chosen package. So the base package is 5 years, and then the most expensive and biggest package is 20 years. Now, the Elite Visa is a 5-year renewable multiple entry visa with an extendable 1-year length of stay per each entry. So this visa is really designed at anyone who wants to streamline their process of coming to Thailand and has the money to be able to do that. So you're someone who wants to come and live in Thailand for a long time but doesn't want to have to deal with all the hassle and bureaucracy of going through the visa process. It's actually, they make it super simple, and you get like a visa concierge that handles everything for you. It really is for the elite. And this includes digital nomads who don't want to do visa runs, which is previously what digital nomads were doing. Retirees who don't want to be stressed out with the new complicated regulations that are regularly introduced. And I've heard stories that they do change the regulations and requirements quite often. So retirees are often having to run around and do all this different stuff. Or investors or business people who need to fly in and out of Thailand several times a year. So if you're somebody who does business in Thailand or does business overseas, but you want to make Thailand your home base and you have the money to do that, then this visa is for you. So as I said, there is multiple different packages for this. The 5-year option is about 900,000 Thailand baht, which is like, I think, 24,000 US dollars. It's not cheap. Now, this is obviously an expensive option, and it's definitely not going to be for everybody, like especially digital nomads who are not, making 7 figures. Like this isn't going to be for you. This is for the elite, as it's named. And to be honest, it almost defeats the purpose of living in a cheaper country like Thailand, because you're paying so much to get in here. But it does come with some pretty awesome perks. Some of the perks it comes with are medical coverage, free hotel stays, concierge services to help you with all of your visa processes, free rounds of golf, discounts at major shopping outlets. Like, this is pretty much just a visa for wealthy people who are doing business around the world and want to make Thailand their base. As I said, it's not for everybody. Apparently, it was about a quarter of the price a few years ago, and it's just kept going up and up and up. And I think that's made it a bit out of reach for a lot of digital nomads, unfortunately. Okay, we just need to take a quick break to thank Level 8 for sponsoring today's video and also supplying us with the best quality luggage for the past 2 years now. So if you want to live the nomadic lifestyle, then you'll need luggage that will hold up in all conditions, which is why we've been using Level 8 for so long. Like us, Level 8 is all about traveling light and efficient, which is why we recently upgraded our carry-on to these awesome new hard shell Roadrunner 20-inch carry-on pieces. Just like the full-size luggage sets, the carry-on luggage is made from durable materials that are also waterproof, which is super important if you're traveling and you're going to be walking around with your luggage through cities, because you never know when you get caught in a rainstorm, especially somewhere here like Thailand where it rains all the time. They also have this cool little compartment for our laptops, making it so much easier to access your electronics when you're at the airport and going through security. Honestly, I don't know why they make you take your laptop and your electronics out of your carry-on when you're going through those security checkpoints, but they do. It's super annoying. But that's going to be a lot easier now with our new upgraded carry-on pieces. And having the hard shell on it also means you can rest assured that your stuff isn't going to get damaged when it's in the overhead lockers. I know whenever I'm flying and we go through turbulence, or like the guy in front of me just slams his bag on top of my backpack, I'm worried that when we get off the flight, my camera's going to be in pieces, or my computer's not going to be working because it's been damaged during the flight. But not anymore. And Level 8 also offers a lifetime warranty on all of their products. So if you're interested in leveling up your travel game, click the link down below in the description, and don't forget to use code Lloyd and Mandy because you'll get 10% off your purchase. The next type of visa is the non-immigrant visa. This is normally a single entry visa into Thailand that's valid for 90 days. Depending on the type of non-immigrant visa, you can also get a work permit and open a bank account. This visa can be extended to a long-term visa depending on the type of non-immigrant visa you apply for. So there's various types of non-immigrant visas, and some of them are a business visa, a retirement visa, a marriage visa, an investment visa, long-term residence visa, and probably the most popular, which is the education visa. So the education visa, which is also known as the ED visa, is a single entry for education purposes only. And this type of visa is issued to travelers who wish to enter Thailand for the reason of traveling, for the purpose of studying, attending seminars, training, internship at a company as compulsory part of curriculum in Thailand. The interesting part about this visa is that some of the things you can study are things like yoga, Muay Thai, and even Thai language school, which makes it really popular for younger people. Like coming to Thailand and learning Thai or learning Muay Thai and being able to stay here for like up to a year is pretty awesome. So as I said, this visa lets you stay for 90 days, but it can be extended. However, if you wish to leave Thailand, you do have to get permission and you have to get a re-entry permit before you leave. So if you do come to Thailand on an education visa, beware that you cannot just leave and come back. Your visa will be cancelled and you won't be allowed back in. So I believe you can extend this visa up to 1 year. So every 90 days, basically you have to go to immigration or your visa agent and you can extend the visa. And I think that it maxes out at 12 months, I'm pretty sure. The cost of this visa is only around US $80 for 3 months, and then each time you extend it, it's going to be about 1900 baht, which is like roughly about 40 bucks or something like that. But in order to apply for this visa, you do need a letter from the school saying that you're enrolled and that you'll be attending the school. So that's where you have to really do your homework and find out like where you want to be and what type of school you want to attend, whether it's going to be a language school or Muay Thai or a yoga course or something like that. A lot of these places do offer this type of visa. It's actually probably easier to contact a visa agent in the area, and they can probably tell you where to find these schools in the area that you want to be going to. And of course, there's the retirement visa, and this is probably the most popular visa in Thailand, or it definitely seems like it anyway. So the retirement visa gives you the benefit of staying at least 1 year of uninterrupted stay in Thailand. So you don't have to do any border crossings or anything like that. You can stay for a complete year uninterrupted. It allows you to acquire a re-entry permit to enter and exit the country. So unlike the education visa, you don't have to get a permit when you want to leave. You can renew your visa in Thailand without having to leave the country. So once you get your retirement visa, you can renew it every 12 months. So I'm just going to read off here the requirements for the retirement visa in Thailand. So you must be at least 50 years old, which is actually not too bad. Considering I think the retirement age in most countries is like 65 or something like that. Must hold a valid foreign passport, obviously. Must provide proof of residence in Thailand by presenting a 6-month lease or more. So that's the catch. You kind of have to come to Thailand and get a lease before you can actually apply for this visa, which is a little bit of a catch. And you must be able to meet one of these financial requirements, which is have 800,000 Thailand baht as a security deposit for at least 2 months before applying for the visa. So in other words, you can't just get someone to chuck 800,000 baht into your bank account and say, here, I have it. It has to be in your bank for at least 2 months. Or monthly income of at least 65,000 Thailand baht. Okay, so now we get to the exciting visa. This is the brand new digital nomad visa that they've just announced. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, this looks like a really, really good option for digital nomads, considering the Thai Elite visa has really just outpriced itself and become unreachable for most digital nomads. I'm going to read an article from the website Tiger, which, by the way, if you're someone who's interested in coming to Thailand, or if you're already in Thailand and you want to keep up to date with all the news about visas and travel and tourism and stuff like that, this is a really good website. I'm going to leave a link for it down below. So it was announced just a couple of weeks ago that the Thai government would be introducing a brand new digital nomad visa. Under this scheme, holders of the multiple entry visa can enjoy a stay of 180 days per year, extendable for another 180 days, all for the cost of just 10,000 baht. Yet, while the initial fee stands at 10,000 baht, applicants must abide by the requirement of exiting and re-entering the country every 180 days. So technically, I guess you can stay here year-round, but you have to leave every 6 months. Accompanied by an initial fee of, it says here, 212 euros, which is approximately 10,000 baht per cycle. So in other words, every 6 months, you got to leave and come back, and then you got to pay another 10,000 baht. But when you compare it to that Thai Elite visa, it really doesn't sound too bad at all. Although comprehensive application details are still pending, preliminary criteria have been disclosed, and I'm going to read off the criteria here. It doesn't sound too bad. Applicants must be a minimum of 20 years old, demonstrate financial capability to cover visa expenses, exhibit a bank balance of at least 10,000 euro. So I guess that'd be like maybe 15,000 Australian dollars or something like that. Give evidence of employment with a registered company. That's the big one. You do have to be employed by a registered company. Whereas previously digital nomads were confined to Thailand's borders on tourist visas, limited to just a 60-day stay. However, with this visionary visa, the Thai government anticipates a substantial boost to tourism, aligning with its broader agenda of economic revitalisation. So Thailand now joins an illustrious roster of nations embracing the digital nomad revolution. From Spain to Dubai, countries worldwide are rolling out similar initiatives, opening the doors to the global remote workforce. So as you can see by that article, this is really aimed at making Thailand a destination for digital nomads. And although this is probably very good news for many digital nomads who have been wanting to come to Thailand, sometimes the Thai government does make these announcements and doesn't completely follow through with them. So you need to keep an eye out for more announcements. And as I said, I'll leave a list to both the Thai embassy and this website, Tiger, down below, so you can keep an eye out on this for yourself. There's also going to be some people that are probably not too happy about this new visa being introduced. And the thing is, like, some people may have paid a massive fee to get into Thailand a couple of years ago, and now they're finding out that digital nomads can come and just pay a simple 10,000 baht and get to stay here. And unfortunately for them, that is the case. It looks like. It also appears as though with this new digital nomad visa, there's going to be pretty lax tax restrictions. In other words, if you're paying taxes in your home country where you're employed and where your business is from, you are not going to have to double up and pay more taxes in Thailand. So that's good news too. All in all, I think this visa looks pretty awesome for digital nomads, and I'm going to keep my eye on it to see when this actually comes into effect and if it actually does come into effect. But yeah, I hope that cleared up some of the questions that you guys have been asking about visas. As you can see, there's so many different options for visas when you want to travel to Thailand, especially if you want to stay for an extended period of time. But as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I really highly recommend contacting a visa agent, because they're way more knowledgeable than me, and they're the experts, and they take all of the hassle out of it. Even though you are going to pay more applying for a visa through an agency, you have the peace of mind of knowing that you're not going to screw anything up and you're not going to get like kicked out of the country or refused entry for missing something. So I would highly recommend contacting a visa agent if you're interested in one of these visas. I'll leave the links down below. Thanks for watching, guys. If you made it this far, we really appreciate it. And if you found this helpful at all, please hit the like and subscribe button, and even share it with a friend. Thanks again. Cheers.